Well, hello, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, Isaiah. And I've been going through these books in 4 minutes or so, but Isaiah kind of divides pretty cleanly into two different sections or books. Some even talk about 1st and 2nd Isaiah. So you got the first 39 chapters, then you got chapters 40 through 66, and they're written in different styles with a little different message. And so we're going to do Isaiah part 1 today, and that's the first 39 chapters. Now, to put this into context, Isaiah is an Old Testament prophet. Some believe he's the most significant and notable of the written prophets in the Old Testament. His name itself means that the Lord is salvation. And he brings this message that's a message of hope, but also a message of warning. And he takes it in to the very kings that rule the land. He speaks during the reigns of King Uzziah, King Jotham, King Ahaz, and King Hezekiah. Now, if we look today then at the first section of Isaiah, Isaiah 1 through 39, you've got a book that talks about Isaiah's messages, and the themes of his messages are kind of fourfold. One, he speaks about God's judgment against sin in Judah and the surrounding nations. God knows, and this world is set up, but God himself governs this world in a way that brings judgment upon unholy, evil, bad behavior. We call that sin. And that leads to a second theme. That theme is the holiness of God. Because while we as humans are sinners and we live among unclean people, thinking unclean thoughts and doing unclean things, God's not that way. He's pure. In fact, in Isaiah chapter 6, Isaiah gets a vision of God in his holy throne, and Isaiah is petrified because he knows he is unclean. He is sinful. Woe is me, he says, and God has to touch him with a sacrifice to clean him. A third theme is that Assyria is going to be coming down and conquering Israel. And Assyria is coming down, actually taking on Judah, and the coming destruction by Assyria is one that is constantly written of in this book. And then the fourth thing that you'll find here is the promises of a future king that's righteous, who will restore God's people. As Christians, this has special significance because so many of the prophetic words in Isaiah are seen being fulfilled through Jesus and his birth, life, and death. So with that, you've got a basic structure that has prophecies against Judah and Jerusalem in the first 12 or so chapters. Then you've got oracles against foreign nations that come out in the next 10 or so chapters. And then starting with chapter 24, you've got these apocalyptic visions of judgment and hope. 28 through 35 have the woes and promises of how you live with God. And then you've got this historical interlude in the last few chapters of this section. So this is great. One of my favorite verses is found in Isaiah 8, verse 6 it's in 6, verse 8 at the end of the verse. Isaiah says, God calls out, who shall I send? Isaiah says, here am I, send me. A powerful message. So this first half of Isaiah reminds us that God takes unholiness and evil and sin very seriously, but he also offers hope to everyone who turns to him. So as we face our own personal challenges, heavens, as we face national challenges, let's remember Isaiah's example of faithful obedience and trust in God's ultimate plan. And let us say with faith in God, here am I, send me. It's a great response to a loving God. And it's why I've made this your video thought for today.